Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to The Last Bastion. It is by Void Peak Game, and it's a free demo that was originally released during the Steam Next Fest, but is still available out on Steam as far as I know. And it's to be determined, coming soon, as to when this game will actually be released in some form on Steam. I don't know if it'll be like an early access or if they're going to do a full release. No idea. But this is I've played a little bit of this, and from the little bit I played, basically I would compare this to essentially FTL, if FTL were not a sci-fi game, but rather a fantasy general sort of game. I don't even know if I would call this necessarily a fantasy game. It's more like a historical fiction kind of thing, I guess. Who knows? I guess I'm splitting hairs there. The other thing I noted is that the game is super difficult. Like super difficult. As in I got my ass handed to me in like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna give the game a half an hour. I hope. We'll see. We'll see if I can survive for the half an hour as we go. And for some reason, there's no music here. When I play these games myself off camera, I usually don't have the music on or the sound because I'm usually watching something else. Like I'll have a YouTube video on or something. So it's I don't know if there's any music in this game or not. I have no idea. I guess we'll both find out together. 30 minutes starting now. Let's do this. Welcome. Thank you for playing the early access demo of The Last Bastion. The game is still in development and its elements are subject to change. You play as the commander of a defeated army, fleeing from battle after a catastrophic defeat at the hands of a ruthless invader. Since the introductory systems are not in place, please note that the objective of the game is to survive till you reach the castle at the end of the map. We'd love to receive your honest feedback, blah, blah, blah. Gameplay tips. Every node traversed progresses time by a day. Every 6 days, the enemy captures a portion of the map. If you're caught in enemy territory, you'll be forced to battle overwhelming numbers. At the end of the day, you return to your camp screen where camp buildings can be constructed and upgraded. Hover on icons and other objects to bring up tooltips. Supplies are consumed on a daily basis depending on the size of your army. Your troops must be fed to maintain their morale. You will lose 5 morale per 100 supplies you run short of. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this game. They started out with 50 gold, which is nothing. And the last time I played, I literally could not find any gold to save my butt. The gold is enough to do like one of these, I think, to construct something. Supply center, training grounds, trading post, clinic. So, I mean, I went with supply center because it sounded like it would be a good idea since our supplies are going to dwindle very quickly. Up here we have 1,200 supplies and we're going to use 290 per day. So we'll see. Maybe I just had a really bad RNG, but let's go supply center. And the other thing is too, I couldn't, like, you'll get civilians along the way, but I couldn't actually set them to work here. They were just idle down here because you had to upgrade this, and to upgrade it you need gold, and again I couldn't find any gold. Like, you need 100 gold, which grant access to forging in the civilian tab, yeah, is level 2. So you could send the your civilians out to forage for you, but can't do that immediately, which is I don't know. Maybe that strikes me as just a bit strange. I don't know if it strikes anyone else as a bit strange that you literally can't do anything at the very beginning of the game to feed your troops. Which, I mean, I get from a story perspective what they're going for there, but like, I ran into civilians along the way and I still couldn't do anything. So, all right, down to this node. Consume 261 supplies. Now we're down to 261 instead of 290. I guess the supply center reduced the amount of supplies that we were using on a daily basis. Okay. So maybe that was the right choice? I don't know. Village here. Abandoned village. You reach an abandoned village. The inhabitants have clearly left in a hurry, leaving most of their belongings behind. Search the homes. Bring back a few sacks of grain, find little else of value. Got 100 grain. Okay, well that helps a little bit, I guess. Now, the one thing I'll note here too, and again, I get that this is early demo and stuff, and there's no balancing and stuff. One thing I'll note here is that there's really no like it says 4 days left until the enemy captures this area. You can see 10 days over here and stuff. I thought when it said 1 day left until the enemy captures it, it would be like you would still have an additional day, but actually when it goes down to 1, it's like you're pretty much dead. You get overwhelmed very quickly. So you do kind of have to move out a little bit. That's it. I'm right on the edge of where we need to be before they take that. I really feel like they should probably like draw a line or something like they do in FTL to say like, hey, this is where the guys are coming. But anyway, go down here. Oh, we get some combat. Combat tips. Assign a commander to an empty battle slot by clicking on the plus symbol. Assign troops to the commander's flanks by clicking on the plus symbol on the empty flank. Each commander has 4 flanks. Troops can be selected from one of the 8 different troop types present at the bottom of the screen. Hovering on the troop icons at the bottom brings up a tooltip describing essential details about the troop type. Each troop type has a different population threshold, must be reached to move up a tier in damage. Each troop is stronger or weaker against specific troop types. Ensure advantageous matchups against enemy troop types to get favorable outcomes in battle. The attack timer tells you the time it takes for all the commander's flanks to dish out their collective damage to the opposing enemy flanks. Base timer is 2 seconds and increases by 0.1 second for every 100 troops added to the flanks. The commander can be dismissed by clicking the retreat button at the top left corner of the battle slot. During the assignment phase, retreat is an instantaneous action, but once in combat, there's usually a cooldown period before the commander can retreat. Once the commander's flanks have been set up, commence the battle by pressing the start button. Action points are accrued over the course of battle. The rate at which this is gained is dependent on the army morale that the player enters the battle with. Action points are used for rotating commander flanks within the game. Every subsequent use of the action increases its AP cost. Action points are also used for casting global... See, that I didn't know, and that's what I was running into. Action points can also be used for casting global abilities that unlock through the course of the game. The objective of the battle is to display at the top of the screen. Pay attention to the objective as it can occasionally include a timer. Often the battle is not worth fighting. Players can flee combat by pressing the white flag button at the top left corner of the screen. This action, however, has a penalty cost associated with it. Combat can be paused at any time by pressing spacebar and access the combat tips at any time. So, here's the thing that I didn't realize when I was doing this. So I, dragged my... So first of all, these commanders each have, like, abilities. Oh, okay, so you have to right-click to see it? Okay. Or no, it does show up eventually. Next B2. But these, like, commanders have, like, different, like, abilities on them, and you can't see them in this screen, which is really annoying. So if I grab this guy, you can see like he's got this Vanguard Supremacy, increases Vanguard damage. Like it would have been nice to see that on that little tooltip there. The other thing that really threw me off, I'm used to like up and down, left to right. This game does right to left, up and down, right? In other words, this is your front flank, this is your rear flank, and these are your left and right flank, which is fairly backwards, I would say. I get why they did this, because over here, like, it kind of lines up this way, as though you're facing off against the battlefield, like this would be the front and all that stuff. When I first came onto this thing, I had my troops set up completely wrong, because I always, you think, oh, this must be my front up here, and this must be my rear, and it's like, nope, not even close. So yeah, that's something they might want to like put some kind of indicator in the middle here to be like, this is the front. You know, this is where the battlefield is facing, that kind of thing. I don't even know what this is here. Oh, that's just to take him off there. Okay, interesting. So we're going up against this guy, and he's got light infantry, archers, pikemen, and some light cavalry in the back. So what we need in the front is someone who's good against light infantry. So I have light infantry, which is strong versus archers, weak versus, and see, you got like icons there, so it's hard to tell. I think it's weak versus heavy infantry, right? Yeah, that's the icon looks like there. Combat target. Oh, it tells you what it's going to target, depending on where you put it in your thing. If you put them in the back, they can't target anybody, right? Alright, and then you got heavy infantry, which is good against light infantry, pikemen, and archer. Good. And you've got pikemen, they're good against horses, and no idea what that other icon is. So freaking tiny. Oh, it's this one here. What is this? Archer cavalry. Okay. Well, they're mounted archers. Okay, so it's good. I mean, it's good against the horses, which I figured. What is this? This is elephants? Yeah, okay, so it's good against all of those. Makes sense. Weak versus the heavy heavy cavalry. Archers. If you put the archers in the back, they'll only target the front facing thing. So they are not strong against anything. That seems strange. So I guess don't. I mean, tier 1 is 1. 1 hit point. Oh, they have 1 hit point. They have 3. Yeah, so don't use arch. I don't know. Seems like that'd be more useful to use them. So cavalry. Light cavalry is strong versus light infantry and archers. Weak versus pikemen and heavy cavalry. And heavy cavalry is strong against archers, light cavalry, heavy infantry, and light infantry. Weak versus pikemen. Yeah, that makes sense. They're all weak versus pikemen, basically. And these guys are strong versus elephant. I don't have any of them. Okay, so with the pikemen, there's nothing that I see here that actually is strong versus pikemen, which is weird, because that would be a balancing thing, right? Like you would think that they would make maybe archers strong versus pikemen or something. You know what I mean? To kind of balance out the tree a little bit. Oh, but the heavy infantry is strong versus pikemen, so I guess we'll put heavy infantry there. 100. Use all 100 that we have. And then these guys are weak versus heavy infantry. These are, what are these? Light infantry. They work against light infantry. And they're strong versus archers. Well, okay, so we'll put those guys up here. I guess we'll put that there. I need something that's strong versus light infantry, which I think is these guys, right? Heavy cavalry. Actually, even the light cavalry is strong versus them. So there's that. Okay. Put the light cavalry here. And then in the back row, actually, you know, wait, can they attack from the back row? No, can't attack. So who can attack from the back row? So the archers can attack from the back row. Pikemen can't. They can't. They can't. Heavy cavalry can't, no. But really, the only thing to put in the back row is the archers then, I guess. So, I suppose that's what we'll have to do. They're the only ones that can actually attack from back there. Do that. Alright, and we'll start. They have very low morale, apparently. I have high morale. Game is paused here. Oh, well. Light cavalry took them out. So what do I need for... what's good against light cavalry? Hard to remember. Light cavalry is good against light cavalry? No, it's weak versus... Yeah, no. Archer, they're weak versus everything. I don't even know why I thought otherwise. Pikemen... I don't have any pikemen there. I need what's ever there. 8. So I'm guessing best I can do probably is rotate this way because there's nothing else there. So do that. Not going to be not ideal, but it is what it is. Alright. There we go. Victory. Just a note here, the one and only battle I did off camera, I lost big time, so this is this is pretty good. We only got 10 coins. This feels very, very, very out of whack. Because what am I going to do with 10 coins? I got nothing. I got nothing here. Group type. We have 169 supply consumption. So, I mean, having all those troops die off was a good thing, I guess. But, yeah, 10 coins doesn't do anything. Our morale went up by 5, though. So, that's something. There's a village down here. Let's go this way. Notes from the War Council. Your scouts come riding back at a gallop, their horses frothing at the mouth, to where your army has paused for a quick meal. There's a noble standard ahead. Looks like Lord Harrison's, but they're surrounded the enemy. How many are there? Bareth asked them sharply. 50 in the Lord's company, and about 10 times the number after them. Lord Harrison, he was part of the Border War Council, wasn't he? Asked Bareth. He nods in confirmation. They had put together notes on the enemy commander's equipment, attack maneuvers. They will prove invaluable to our side. That must be what the enemy's after, Bareth suggests. Surrounded by the enemy. I mean, we only have 348 supplies, so, like I said, this game, super difficult, but without any, there's nothing that, I don't know if it's just completely dependent on RNG for you to get any kind of distance in this game, or if it's just plain you're just not and I get that the map is kind of small, so they kind of have to make the challenge escalate quickly, but they're not giving me anything in return in order to do better, right? Like I feel like I have no options of doing better right now. I guess we got to go rescue him. Arthur agrees that it's worth the risk. You tell your troops to prepare to ambush the enemy. And there's 2 of them. Fun times. Okay. That guy up there. Guy down here. I may not have enough troops to do this. What's he got up front? Archers? Interesting. They're both 250 hit points, though, if I can just break through. They got archers up front, so literally anything will... I mean, these guys are strong against archers, right? Yeah. Okay. They got light infantry. I don't think the pikemen go against infantry, do they? No, I think it's the light cavalry. I have like no troops to spend on this battle here. This is rough. Oh, he's got swift retreat. Well, I mean, obviously we gotta put archers in the back on both of these guys because that's the only thing I have that can do anything. From the back row anyway. What's this? Light infantry? Imagine these guys go against light infantry, right? Yeah, if are strong. He's got his light cavalry in the back. I'm not going to be able to do anything for you in the back there. But I guess he's planning on rotating them around. I mean, we might have to do pikemen versus pikemen, because I don't have anything else to go up against these pikemen here, right? Or, wait, does the light infantry go against? Not really. Yeah. Actually, I probably should put pikemen up here because these guys have cavalry, which will probably cycle around. In fact, yeah, 180, 150. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to overload this flank with pikemen. And I guess we'll put a bunch of light infantry here. Light infantry, heavy cavalry. Put them up front. Like that. I mean, I know they're just going to cycle the pikemen around, but I don't have much. There's not much I can do with what I've got. So. Yeah, I guess more light infantry there. Yeah, this seems like it's going to end in disaster, but you know what? Let's go for it, I guess. I mean, I could What does this increase Vanguard damage? Vanguard? Elephant. Yeah, I don't know what they mean by increased Vanguard damage, and this guy's got swift retreat. So let's see what we can do. Okay, pause the game. They sent their horses against my pikemen. That's interesting strategy, Cotton. Very interesting strategy. You know what, I'm going to rotate this around. No! Actually, I forgot about that side. I was going to rotate entirely around the wheel. That's it. Probably rotate that again. We might actually have AP coming though. How much AP do I have? Did it actually tell me? I have 31, I guess. Yeah, okay. Okay, fine. He needs to retreat. These. Right. We retreated, and then I can now bring more troops back in. Alright. Use all the troops we got here. The other guy's done. I can't, like... I was trying to see if I could maybe swap this guy over for there, but apparently that's not how that works. Which kind of makes sense. We should have someone... Wait, I should have someone... affecting that flank, actually. Let's put these guys up here. Otherwise, we'll just start taking damage immediately. There we go. Barely eked out a victory there. 1,093 troops dead. The game is a bit rough. A bit rough. Notes from the War Council. Lord Harrison has overcome with gratitude at your daring rescue. He hands you some of the notes compiled by the destroyed War Council, detailing attack maneuvers known to be effective against the enemy. Unlocked Eclipse Barrage ability. Not really going to help me because I got like no troops. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Summon? What does summon do? I have an aristocrat. Great. Yeah, I don't know what to do, honestly. I'm like beside myself a little bit here because there's not much I can do to, like, training ground. Maybe I should have done maybe I should have gone with a training ground that my troops would not be, you know, destroyed so easily. Our daily consumption is only 14 though, so there you go. So if I go to, like, I've been trying to go to villages to see if I can recruit, but so far it hasn't really. Oh, here we go. Panicked village. You arrive at a village in the midst of a full-blown panic. Villagers rush about, preparing defenses, packing their belongings, their fear and their desperation only adding to the mess. Your arrival halts the confused scrambling as everyone rushes towards you to hear your orders, like scared children waiting to be soothed and led. All the able-bodied citizens, have everyone join your regiment. What's the difference between recruiting all the able-bodied citizens and have everyone join your regiment? I guess I don't know. I guess we'll get people who can't fight. I mean, those would be civilians, right? Which we could probably use. I mean, I guess they would be a burden on our resources. I don't know. Let's recruit all able-bodied citizens. Yeah. You grab any citizen who can be trained to fight and invoke emergency martial law to recruit them without a choice. They're loath to leave their families, but you assure them they'll be safe if they flee. We got plus 100 troops. -2 something for now. I don't know what this is -2 of. No idea. What's going on here? There's an undercurrent of tension in your camp. You watch your soldiers during dinner. They seem to have divided into camps, and each group is sitting far apart from the rest. Ask Barath what's wrong. Instead of making a big deal about it, you discreetly ask Barath to investigate. He excuses himself and goes and mingles with the soldiers. They welcome him gladly. He's a popular figure in camp. Soon he seems to have gleaned the nature of the problem and hurries back with his report. So the men have divided as per their factions. This problem was bound to arise. Our country's 4 factions have never gotten along, and their purposes are often at odds. Priests believe they'll lose karma if they eat with the rest, especially with the outcast. The aristocrats think they're better than the rest and must stay apart. The commoners feel most comfortable with their own kind, and everyone is suspecting the outcasts of being sympathetic to the enemy, so they're being ostracized even more than usual. Sire, you must handle this carefully. The factions in our land are deeply entrenched tradition, supported by faith. It'll be hard to overcome their bias. But at the same time, divisions are not good for the morale of our troops. We must present a united front and support each other in battle. Should we force them to eat together and break up the groups, or let them continue to sit and live apart? On your journey to the capital, you will encounter members of the 4 most important factions in your country. Upsetting any of them could prove costly. Winning their favor will lead to rich rewards. Lords own well-stocked castles with strong troops, and the priests' temples are rich with gold and sacred beasts. Both will prove invaluable in this war. You also need to keep the commoners and the outcasts happy. They are your foot soldiers and archers. Your army would be nothing without their numbers. You need to keep them willing and working. If they trust you, it'll be easy to win their support and find followers wherever you go. How will you deal with the factions in your camp? I mean, anyone would probably say force the factions to eat together, right? But I'm going to let them sit apart. As you wish, sir, but I'm afraid this will lead to more problems down the line. Yeah, well, we'll see. 5 priests, 6 aristocrats. Okay. So that's what we have thus far. And unfortunately, day 5 is as far as we got in a half an hour, my friends, although pretty obvious that we're going to be really destroyed here. We're going to get wrecked pretty hardcore here, as you can probably guess. Anyway, my friends, that has been The Last Bastion. It is by Void Peak Games, and it's a free demo right now out on Steam. I believe it still should be available for you to download and play. It's to be determined yet as to when it will be released and in what form it will be released on in Steam, whether it'll be an early access or a full release. Don't know. But it is definitely an interesting game, and it's got some good stuff going for it. I think I would personally say that it really, really needs a good balance pass on it. I get that this is like a super early demo and all those things, and it's not really going to be balanced, but holy crap, is it not balanced? So I think there's a happy middle ground there somewhere, at least. Anywho, as always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.